Forensic.
Okay, like forensic. Get it?
OMG, there's a
Eh?
cover.
Yeah, yeah. All right, start anew.
Aye. Achoo. How offendy. I'm not here.
Can I help you, miss?
Al, not I.
Oh.
This is
AI.
just screaming. That's a nice mix up.
Nice.
The new BRB stream's very nice, also.
It is.
Thrown together like 12 minutes before the stream. Oh,
Well.
Al's got a young woman here, has he? Niffs you. My name's Forensic. Achoo. I work at the lab.
That seems so unsanitary.
Hello, Florence. You're actually on time today, I see. Not funny, Al. You should be ashamed of yourself bringing a woman back here.
Goodness.
Jeez.
No, I've just started work here. I'm Lucy. Lucy Baker.
No, new blood, is it? Well, anyway, achoo. Preamble. I want you to look into a case. I sent our lab report over already. Not like you have to ask for help with a case, Florence. Is it especially puzzling? Do you get to do puzzles? It's as clear as a test tube. A burglar broke into a flat and achoo. Can't do achoo choices. Killed one of the residents.
Well, if it's that black and white, how come you want us to get involved?
Because it doesn't add up. Oh. The suspect's as suspicious as they come. He's made a test of it already, but I'm certain there's more to it than achoo. BCI. They can't do it. I can't abide the thought of the case being closed before I've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's.
So you want the prof to look into it and figure out what is bothering you. Is that it?
Yes. Would you mind, Rob? I'm not sure like you calling me that, Florence. If that's your only objection,
Presume.
I presume you'll take it on, Professor. If you promise to make that the last time you dress me like that, Al, you have a deal. So, where's the file? The Al-Somnian files. Didn't I already say I'd sent it over? Ah, yes, here it is. Yes, we'll start investigating this at once. Just know this, if you fail to solve it, I swear I'll keep calling you Professor until the end of your days at 2. Like a Pokemon. Lucy, we have to solve this case. Failure is not an option.
Professionalism will see us through.
Nice save.
A good save.
It were a case that came up just as I were talking.
No, it's just Lucy, I think.
Oh.
It happened in a fairly ordinary studio flat. We're used to seeing blood by now, and the male victim in this case were covered in it.
Can't glass. These are the suspects.
There were 3 suspects. Once again. I remember being surprised by the clever trick the killer employed, but that weren't the reason why the case stuck in my mind. Oh no. You see, that were the first time I ever saw the other side of the professor.
The bungled burglary. Burglary. Right, let me tell you what we know. The victim in this case is a young male murdered in his first floor flat. We've already managed to identify him and he's something of a loose cannon.
Oh?
Yes, a certain Jack Potsby. The incident occurred a few days ago, just after midnight. His wife, a woman by the name of Goldie Potsby Man. I'm trying to figure out what the pun is even here. Goldie Potsby Man was having a shower when she heard him scream. A shower in full makeup, apparently. She ran out the bathroom to see her husband lying on the floor and the culprit running away.
No.
According to her statement, the killer was a muscular man, dressed entirely in black.
That should give us a good head start with finding him, eh?
Well, the block's caretaker, who was on duty at the time, heard the sound of glass breaking. He ran upstairs and knocked on Potsby's door, whereupon the wife told him about the intruder. Wasting no time, the caretaker conducted a search of the grounds and apprehended a suspicious man.
He got him? What do they need to do for us? What do they need us for then? There's not for us to do, surely.
Well, the apprehended man has an alibi of sorts. He's a known petty criminal by the name of Buster Nix. He claims he was attempting to break and enter a ground floor flat at the time.
Oh, very nice. The lies some people tell.
Which means he's still a criminal by alibi.
At least he was honest.
He says he ran off when he heard the sound of shattering glass. In his statement, however, he claims that he didn't see anyone coming down from the floor above.
Of course he didn't, because it were him that did it. That thieving numpties incriminated himself with that.
I think not. If he decided to deceive us, he'd be claiming he did see someone else running away, surely.
Oh, I suppose you're right. That would make more sense.
That's what's really bothering me. If you conclude Nix is telling the truth, things get very complicated.
Don't they just?
So let's start making some deductions, shall we? Do you think you can determine who did it from the crime scene and eyewitness statements we have?
You're going to put me on spot again, aren't you?
Well, I tell you what, first let me fill you in on the three suspects. Let's do our jobs first before making rash decisions again.
Yeah.
To start with, of course, we have the burglar, Buster Nix. Suspicious man caught nearby, an old lag and serial burglar. Known for his swift getaways, he was dressed in black and caught near the block of flats. Very suspiciously, he was caught in the gardens around the block of flats immediately after the incident.
But there's his statement, don't forget. If he really is our man, then what he said doesn't make sense.
No, quite. We must be careful not to jump to any conclusions. Chase them down. Next, there's the caretaker. His actions, from when the incident occurred to when he caught Nix, seemed to be nothing but laudable.
He could always have engineered it that way, couldn't he, though?
Okay, so just...
Bodybuilder.
Oh, is he?
The lady, did note that the man was, muscular, so,
That's true.
he can get violent when angered, it seems. Intriguing.
Okay, I'm just paranoid and checking my...
Couldn't he? Couldn't he, though?
Yeah.
Couldn't he,
Sorry.
though?
It's taking a second to look at my OBS settings because I got paranoid after my last stream because it captured video but not audio, just to make sure it's recorded to the right tracks. So I was like, oh, I got paranoid again, like, what if it's not actually getting the audio?
That's a good point. Let me check the stream on my end, maybe.
Well, no one has complained about it, so...
Mixo, if you are still here, is the audio for like the game actually working?
Finally, there's the victim's wife, Miss Goldie Pottsbyman. Stunning beauty. Sadly, this isn't the first husband she survived.
Oh.
What?
Oh, Mixa, we were wondering if the game audio was working or not on your end.
I mean, it probably is, it seems.
Well, if it is, that would be good to know.
I
Anyways.
was paranoid after last time because I had to like manually insert background audio to every part for the VOD.
Oof.
It was very time consuming. It took like 2 days.
Yeah.
Really, Ian? Alright.
Really? Okay, well that's good.
She claims to have been showering at the time of the incident and was the one who discovered the victim.
In full makeup again. Wow, what a stunner!
Oh, really? Is she?
Are you joking?
LGTV?
Let's go. LGBT community.
Well,
LGBT
anyway,
community.
that's what we know about the suspects. Now I'd set up the reconstruction device, include all the info we've gleaned so far from our perusal. We're a little short on details for you to say with any certainty at this stage, but what's your gut instinct, Lucy? Who do we incriminate? Once you had to think about that, we'll start trying to make some logical deductions. Just go. Who's the criminal?
Let's investigate the crime scene first.
Yeah.
Because last time I said Vera like twice. There'll be naught we can say about anything about if we don't hurry up and investigate the crime scene. Wow, I'm really butchering these. I need to stop doing that.
Eager to get started? Good. I'll turn on the reconstruction device then.
We'll have, like,
time machine.
let's start snooping. Dun, 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 dun. Crime scene reconstruction. Oh my gosh, there's a lot to look around now.
Yeah, this one's much bigger. This is the flat where the incident took place. Have a look around. Don't trip on the blood.
I'll only give you 5 minutes though.
Why?
No problem.
There's a reason this time. Is it just making hot pockets?
Yeah.
OMG.
Like
well,
okay,
I already see something suspicious here.
Body. Oh, that outside, yeah.
Well, yeah, there's this.
Balcony.
Uninviting concrete balcony. Client questions on the first floor above ground level. But a determined intruder could gain entry to the premises this way.
Okay, is there anything like the... Yeah, bloodstained towel.
There's one about that. Towel stained with the victim's blood. It belonged to Pottsby and his wife, and is normally kept inside the flat.
Interesting. Okay, what about the window?
Well, that already makes me suspicious with the shower thing, because that could be from the shower.
But wouldn't the wife be the one bleeding? Or
Well, no, the dude would be. Just maybe the towel got wet with blood, because the blood's literally, like, right outside.
Oh.
A French
So she
window
was
that
killing
opens
him.
out onto the balcony. I didn't say she was the one who did it, I just feel that might be hers.
It wasn't
Broken
locked and
glass
all
from
things wiped off. So there wasn't even any reason to shatter it.
Wow. Someone
Okay, what
wiped
about the
it.
body? What do we know there? Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
Yeah.
Gotta zoom in for this one. Corpse and broken glass. Okay.
And low polys. The
The victim's
victim's
dead body.
fatally stabbed in the back. No other signs of external injury are in evidence.
And then the glass.
Considerable force must have been used. Throwing pieces on top of the body even.
Interesting.
It's a weird thing to
So
know
wait.
of.
Was it broken after the victim was murdered?
Feels like it could have been with the way that sentence is written.
So someone got murdered and
Oh
then
right, yeah,
was
I can do
abducted.
this. I forgot, I just have to use
Okay,
my fingers for it.
Try the... I don't know if the bathroom has much, but maybe. Worth a shot. Wash bin.
I just don't want to touch my phone too much because I don't want to accidentally unplug it from the USB.
Yeah, that would probably be a bad thing.
A snug little sink next to which is a cup with a pair of toothbrushes inside. Toilet.
Oh my gosh, there's some stuff.
Regular toilet. It is extremely dirty.
Skibbity toilet reference.
Oh my god. It was a skibbity toilet that did it. It broke in.
Yes.
It killed my husband. The guy with the video camera head was there. Sonic was there.
Mario was
Thick
there.
crease
all got
scrap of
messy.
card. It looks like it was intended for the bin but fell out. Slightly damp.
Slightly damp. Bin.
Rubbish bin, scrolled paper, toilet rolls and wrappers and the like doesn't appear to contain anything related to the case. That must mean it's going to be important later.
Maybe. What about the shower?
Oh, it's just a bathtub.
It's just bathtub.
A bath with attached shower. There are indications of recent use, but forensic investigations reveal no traces of the victim's blood inside.
Okay, so nothing. And then we got the closet.
That makes me suspicious that they said there's nothing in there. Because they also said that the fingerprints were wiped off the glass or something like that. Which means evidence of someone cleaning up afterwards. Which makes me think there could have been blood in there, but I don't know what the purpose would be.
I don't either. A closet containing the victim's clothes and those of his wife. Its contents appear to be in a complete jumble.
That's so relatable. Touch-tone telephone. Neil Cicerega reference. The phone records show that on the day in question was used only to call the police after the incident recorded.
Gosh, Neil Cicerega.
Oh my
A pad
god.
of paper with several phone numbers scrolled upon it, all of which have proved to belong to various takeaway food establishments.
That's interesting. I don't know if that's gonna come up, but
Also, if you think about it, this is taking way longer than 5 minutes because
yeah, they paused the
we're
thing.
pausing to read over everything. So like, Lucy must have very fast fingers for writing this. An antique-style grandfather clock with a large pendulum.
Notably
Pendulum
not
reference?
moving right now. Pendulum reference? Crush.
Pendulum reference?
Crush is the only song I know
Crush is
about them.
awesome. Crush is awesome. Self versus Self is awesome. Blood Sugar is awesome. Tarantula is awesome.
Yeah,
Their new stuff is awesome. Okay, okay. Before I go on to an entire pendulum simping moment, door.
a door leading out of the flat. Fingerprints belonging to the victim, his wife, and the warden were identified on the handle. The key is kept inside.
That reminds me, there's also The Doors. That's a band.
That is true. The noun is a very popular.
The bed.
The beds. Large bed. It appears a couple slept together here.
Yeah.
Analog television set placed on a small wooden cupboard. At the time of the incident, a drama starring popular actor Roscoe Strapping was airing. Is that relevant to know? They just named the whole person.
Don't think so.
Roscoe Strapping.
Roscoe Strapping is somehow related. I don't know. What about the sink?
The fridge.
Scubes.
A medium-sized domestic refrigerator. Very little in the way of food inside. It's stocked largely with cans of beer.
Well, seems our guy was a drinker if we are going by the photos taken.
So lots of beer and lots of takeout food, I guess.
Standing side by side, with lids to prevent unpleasant odors. They are mainly empty and contain nothing of relevance.
Which has been said about every bin so far.
Kitchen knives!
We'll get there.
Cooking pots.
Pasta was boiling. Oh no.
Yeah. They were gonna have a nice
No.
meal.
Don't tell me that this is gonna be the blood is actually pasta sauce the whole time.
That would
It's
be
gonna
amazing.
like be, oh, it
That
was
would be
pasta
funny,
sauce.
But also very cliche. 3 knives. Just 3 knives. Nothing important about that.
Highly impractical, but doesn't appear to have much use. Wow, just roast their place.
That's just, yeah, just roasting
That's fine.
roasting the kitchen setup. How dare. How rude.
But
Anyways,
I don't
last
know.
place is
The way
table.
it's being set up now makes me think there's been tampering after the fact before the police were called. With that mentioning how everything is like pretty much spotless besides the body.
Small, cheap chairs made of laminated wood. Despite the low-cost materials, they are very well constructed. Well, that's good to know, I guess.
Okay, there's 2 of them.
What about the table? A wooden table with several empty beer cans on it. They appear to have been drunk by Potsby. Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay, that's everything.
That is it. Okay, now we can,
Complete the case. Who do you think did it?
I honestly don't know.
The dude who's dressed in black?
I guess.
Muscular and dressed entirely in black.
Part of me
Probably
thinks,
the guy that she said did it, but at the same time...
yeah, probably. Like...
I mean, I guess, but I feel like she could have done it.
I feel like the guy could have done it. If she is telling the truth, then it's probably Chase. If she isn't telling the truth, then it's probably her.
It does also make sense. He's the only other person who's used the door.
But at the same time, someone else has to have broken the window.
And he's a caretaker of the flat, so I'm assuming he would have some way to get in without the key.
Yeah, it was unlocked, so maybe Buster broke in, didn't notice the body.
Well, no, he's trying to break into the first floor.
He's wearing gloves, though, if you notice his image. He's wearing gloves. So I may be overthinking this.
I think I'm gonna go with this guy.
Yeah, the safe option is just the mysterious guy in black, or whatever.
That seems like a red herring.
Yeah, because it could have been that could just be a made-up fellow, for all we know. By Potsby Man.
I think it's either the officer or the wife. If it ends up being like a pasta thing, it's the wife. Because she'd be the only one who'd be inside during the time, and it just, I don't know, the way everything was cleaned up afterwards makes me suspect that she could have done it. She'd be the only person who had like the time to do it before calling the police. It's like even the chairs are still up. There's like no evidence that anything happened other than the dude on the floor. I'm gonna go with the police guy also because it always makes sense that how he could have gotten in things.
Yeah, a big muscular guy. His beef. Someone as burly as that would have no trouble committing the murder. I reckon he planned to set up Nick's farm right from the start.
Really? You mean to say you think Nick's break-in was somehow arranged by Downs? How?
Well,
Let me tell you what I think. I suspect the true culprit is in fact the victim's wife, Potsby Man.
You don't!
Yes, I could say that with... 96.4% certainty.
You're pretty sure of yourself again, aren't you, Puff?
Well, there's still an uncomfortable 3.6% band of uncertainty that we must eliminate. I'll need to speak directly to the suspect in order to clear 1 or 2 loose ends.
I assume you mean...
Our prime suspect was Goldie Potsby Man.
Hi!
Though it's not officially related to this case, the woman has an extremely worrying history. She's had 3 previous marriages, every one of which has ended with her spouse dying. Well, that's suspicious.
Yeah. Update. And you just withheld that information from us until now.
Yeah, that seemed like that would have been...
Now
we should be privy to.
Yeah? At the start, maybe? Give over. Talk about leaving a trail.
The police and insurance companies investigated the incidents, of course, but they couldn't find any indication of foul play.
Maybe she's just dead unlucky then, do you think?
Let's reserve judgment on that until we've met the woman in person. She should be here any minute. Good, because she cleans.
Do you think she has any idea we're onto her?
To help us with our investigation was the way I put it when I asked her to come in. She probably knows.
I guess we'll just have to try and catch her off guard then, eh?
Yes, I don't suspect she'll give much away, but as we hone in on the truth, hopefully she'll get flustered. Flustered emoji. I'm counting on your help, Lucy. Bleeding emoji.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a walk in the park, but I'll do the best I can. Awkward smile emoji.
Slight grin.
Slight grin.
Good, because I believe she's here.
Smirk emoji.
Person walking emoji. Who the heck is this?
Oh my gosh!
Hey, what's going on here?
Hey, yo, there's an actual, like, dog person in here. What? Huh? Huh?
Bro.
Who? Huh? Eh.
So who do you want to do if the other day has a speaker?
I don't know. Maybe I'll do the barking guy.
Okay. Now, were you the gentleman who requested my presence here? She's southern.
What the?
Miss Goldie Potsby, man. That is my name. A pleasure to meet you, I'm sure. And who's like Red the 13th here?
And her... Who's this fellow with you?
Well, I would have thought that was perfectly plain. Bing here is his name's Bing.
Bing!
No, name himself after a search engine.
Bing it.
Dude, I'm
We gotta
binging so hard right now. I'm
Yeah.
binging. Bing here's my
binging in
new
real life.
name.
Which is more cat, but whatever. You've got a new fellow? Already? But your husband's barely cold.
Husband? Oh yes, I did have a husband, that's right.
Hey, talk about unfeeling. And what's that you've got around your fellow's neck? A collar?
You have to acknowledge that. Isn't it swell? I chose it myself. His text is colored. It's unlike everyone else's, and it's very slight.
Unbelievable.
In front of my salad.
You can't do that!
She's an adult. They're both adults. I'm assuming she has every right to. Even if it's an incredibly weird thing to be doing right now. The investigation
Yeah.
of your previous husband's crime scene. Well, I do
And then
declare.
you just have this other guy who you're just pretending is a giant dog.
That's,
Or is a giant dog,
I
for all
don't
we
know.
know. He has ears, I mean...
He does have ears. Red the 13th moment.
I have no idea.
It's a Final Fantasy joke.
Ah.
There's a red line in Final Fantasy VII called Red the 13th. Whatever. Well, I do declare the police interfering in a young lady's private affairs at the heart.
No, that's not what I meant at all. I were...
Oh, I have an idea. He is pretty built. What if he's the guy that did it, and she called him up to, like, do it, and then she, like, cleaned up the scene and feigned innocence?
And now he's just pretending to be a dog. Because
Or, I
he
mean,
is.
they could have been already dating behind the other guy's back. Miss Potsby, man, we fully respect your privacy. Any relationship with this man is not our concern. Unless he's a suspect. However, I wonder if we might ask your friend to leave us alone while we discuss the case. Bing is... I cannot believe his name's Bing. Bing is my
Bing.
best friend, Inspector. We have no secrets between us. If I stay, he stays. Which means he's gonna have to be added to the suspect list, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I cannot allow information about the case to be revealed to a third party. Please, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, very well. Bingo. Oh boy. Go away from me under the porch. Whoa.
This game got really weird during the second case for some reason.
So his name is Bingo, I guess.
Bingo, okay.
That's not as funny.
Bingo the dog man. We're
Bro,
fully acknowledging furries exist in this universe, apparently.
I guess.
I think? Aroo?
Don't post this guy to Twitter.
Aroo? Yeah.
Actually, let's just...
I'm surprised Twitter does Twitter know this?
Now, boy. Sad.
Aroo.
I have no idea where this is going. What is the
Neither do
universe now?
I.
What's the
That's just a
universe being
weird-
built up now? Because you just
That's a
invented
weird thing to introduce this
fantasy
time.
people now, I guess.
Yeah?
Hrothgar
What?
exists.
Huh?
Hrothgar in my Layton game.
Next you're gonna tell me there are Khajiits here.
Thank you. Now allow me to introduce myself, if a little late. I'm Inspector Layton.
And I'm Lucy Baker, the Prof's assistant.
And what is it that you want with little old me? I already gave the gentleman my nice statement. I messed that so. Why, everyone knows it was that no good outlaw who committed this heinous crime. Indeed, as likely as that may seem, there are a number of issues we still need to clear up. Like your nasty kitchen. Oh, really,
Yeah.
Inspector? Yes, well, 2 issues to be precise. Firstly, the exact circumstances of the victim's death. We need to establish whether or not he really was killed by an intruder. I already told you I saw the intruder with my own eyes. Secondly, there's the intruder's point of entry. Especially, how did the culprit enter the flat? Why? Through the window, of course. The window.
W-I-N-D-O-W.
It's the W-I-N-D-O-W. You
Duh.
only need to look at the scene to know it. Have you even read my statement, Inspector? Her voice keeps changing every sentence. Naturally,
I
I've
picture
read
her as
all
a
the...
myself.
Me too, I just can't keep it. Naturally, I've read all the witness statements. It's our job to iron out all these little details one by one, you see. Have you mind helping us? It would be my pleasure if it helps to... bring the murdering outlaw to justice. Good, so Lucy, shall we begin our investigation?
Aye, let's get stuck in, Prof. Stuck in. I still don't know what that means. I wish I did.
Let's get to it, I guess.
So, these are the issues we still need to clear up about the case, are they?
Yes, if we solve these little riddles, it will lead us to the truth about what happened. Why? They're both as plain as day. Perhaps we need to confirm those clear-cut as it seems. You see, where do you want to start?
Let's see now.
I guess,
Nature of attack?
I guess that would be probably the easiest thing to clear up first. We can't make any useful deductions until we've established exactly how the victim was killed. Through pasta. We should start by
Pasta.
examining the body.
Ravioli, specifically.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's explore the scene of the crime. If anything jogs your memory, Miss Pottsman, do tell us. I'm sure I don't see the point of all this carry on when I have already told you who the criminal is. I don't know what that sentence really meant.
It really doesn't
Kind of
make
read-
any sense.
It kind of read like, why of in when out hot, eat the food, whatever.
Why do they call it the oven when you take the out of?
When you
Food.
out hot,
When
eat
you
the food or something. That's what that sounded like to me. I'm afraid this is just the procedure we always follow, so if you wouldn't mind playing along. Alright, Lucy, let's get this started.
Aye, let's see if we can't find some of the killer left behind by mistake.
Are you sure this little spring chicken is up to the task, Inspector? She seems mighty inexperienced. She does the foo-foo-foo laugh thing. Whatever would a poor defenseless young widow like me do if she was falsely accused by a rookie? Don't you have a new husband? You already planning to murder
a
him
brand new
too?
husband that it happens to be a dog.
Dang. Lion?
Dog. It looks like it's a dog. It has to be a dog.
The nose looked more lion-like to me with the
It
mane.
did, honestly. Oh, please.
There's no need for concern. I shall be keeping a close eye to make sure everything is done in the proper way.
Alright. Investigate the body! So obviously that means we touched the body, I guess. That's the window. The corpse.
Right, I think you've established the cause of death now, haven't you?
Aye, you were fatally stabbed.
Skewered in one. Yet Nix wasn't found carrying a likely murder weapon, so...
So it must have been disposed of somewhere here in the room.
But I do declare that murdering thief just cast aside his deadly weapon right here in my home. And am I to understand that you have no idea what the murder weapon even is? Do you quite know what you're doing, Inspector? Gadget? Please, be patient. Go, Gadget murder weapon. Lucy, we need to look at the murder weapon.
I'll track it down, Prof. Don't you worry.
I do believe you two need a helping hand. The thief fled over the balcony. Maybe look there. I mean, there's the towel.
There.
The towel's the only suspicious thing about that.
Well, there were the kitchen knives, and they
Yeah,
could
but
have
they're
been
not. Yeah, they could have been. And it is very stabby.
It is very stabby. It is the stabbiest thing. It might be a little too obvious, but it is the stabby thing. There's some kitchen knives here, Prof. Could be the job.
That would be consistent with the long, thin blade that forensics tells us the victim was stabbed with.
Aye, he were skewered with one of these outright. Right in the middle of his back.
Sadly not. That's not the weapon we're looking for.
Oh? Why not?
An officer already found those knives and forensics examined for traces of blood. None was found.
Yeah, but they could be cleaned.
Yeah, it's at a sink. In fact, they almost look brand new. I'd say the inhabitants of this flat rarely cooked. Hopeless chefs.
Oof.
Now, Inspector, whether we cook for ourselves or not is surely none of your business. It is very obvious, though.
Oh, pity. I thought we were onto some with that.
I'm beginning to feel you'll never find the murder weapon at all. On the contrary, we'll most certainly find it. Lucy, let's keep looking.
Okay, well, it's not over here. The cooking pot doesn't make any sense, and
I mean,
the rest of the kitchen.
wait, no, yeah, he was stabbed, so we need something stabby.
Stabby.
It could be he was
Plus the
stabbed with the
glass.
glass.
Like, yeah, maybe.
I want to look at
Long
the
and thin. There are
towel
definitely long and thin
again.
pieces of glass. However, I find it hard to believe that the glass wouldn't shatter in his back. That's the thing. And of course, the balcony just has the bloodstained towel, and that's
It's
not
not
stabby at all.
stabby, but it is.
Glass is the only stabby thing. These shards of glass are pretty sharp, Prof.
You mean one of the larger ones could have made a makeshift weapon?
That's what I was thinking, I.
Yes, the investigating officers had the same idea, so forensics studied every contender.
Hey, up, here comes a butt.
But none of the shards matched the size and shape of the victim's wound.
I knew it.
Worth a shot.
It really was.
Ugh, my, what terrible bad luck. Keep looking, Lucy. What else could have been used? When is all this carry-on going to end? My poor heart surely cannot take much more. The police have returned down my home upside down and found no trace of a murder weapon. Surely you should be looking at the grounds where that murdering outlaw was caught ahead instead. We've already completed a thorough search of the surrounding area. Then that wicked man must have just swallowed it, mustn't he?
Down in one. Go!
Big sneeze. Had to mute for a sec.
big sneeze. What? Stuck a knife down his throat? Give over.
Now don't tell me you've never seen a sword swallower before. Perhaps we should take a step back and examine the facts to know about the murder weapon again. Lucy, there were no other obvious signs of physical trauma on the victim, correct? What does that tell you? He was stabbed in the back and has no other wounds, so... Start questioning. Doesn't seem with a struggle. Because there's no other marks. And there's really no evidence of a struggle on the scene either. Everything's like perfect.
Yeah.
Also, when she mentions swallowing the object, that does make me suspect Bing.
It's big. Totally out of the blue.
If he's no other... Oh.
If he's no other injuries, and he were stabbed in the back, I'd say he were totally caught unawares.
I couldn't agree more. So we can be fairly certain the victim was killed.
Victim was killed in a surprise attack.
Your text bubbles are too close.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, my poor Jack. The cowardly thief murdered him without even looking him in the eye. That man is beyond contempt. That would be nothing short of a miracle. After all, we're talking about a complete stranger entering the room.
Aye, there's no way he wouldn't have put up a fight. That'd make no sense at all. Oh.
Interesting. Poor Jack, he must have drifted off to sleep in front of the television. My poor honey did that a lot. That must be the reason why he did not notice the murderous villain breaking into the apartment. That's an interesting new piece of information. I'll file it as a witness statement if you don't mind. I'd say that's more or less all we can deduce about the circumstances of death at this stage.
Check files.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So the TV was important.
We know killed from behind. Method of entry. Yeah,
I can't check the... I just
Just
wanted to read
background checks.
what her statement was.
Jack often used to doze off while he was watching.
It's the only thing that's like the trauma thing.
Maybe. Method of entry. So, we're trying to work out how the killer got into the room, are we?
That's right. That's right. Now I am quite sure that could not be more plain. Well, you only just look at all the shattered glass to know that the outlaw came in through the window. That's the only possible way in, isn't there some other way into the flat other than through the window? Like a door? Idiot.
Duh.
Or
I'll have a look around and see what I can figure out, Prof.
Pasta.
Yeah, they entered in through the pasta. Or the toilet! I'm kidding.
They did say the toilet was dirty, which I feel like considering everything else is a clue.
Yeah, let's try the door.
Obviously the door.
Obvious. It's obvious. If the door were locked and the key were inside the flat at the time, then...
That's plain to see that the outlaw did not walk in through the front door, as I've already said. Which I do declare brings us back to the window. The murdering thief broke in through the window and stabbed poor Jack in the back. I find that hard to believe. Lucy, what do you think?
Hey, yep. What if the door weren't locked when he broke in? It could have been locked later on, no?
That's true. My poor simple girl, did you not notice the doors in these apartments all locked by themselves? What happened to just opening the door?
What happened to using a key? What?
Well, the key's inside.
Then
maybe-
maybe someone let him in. How about that?
I can assure you I have never set eyes on that man before, and neither had my husband. I'm interested now. that
This is an odd case. It's obviously not as straightforward as the last one.
yeah, because it's clearly her, most likely. So now we just define the evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be an accomplice, which I'm thinking now that we're talking about the door, and there's all those notes of takeout places. I'm wondering if Bingo worked at one of those takeout places and he was the delivery driver or something that she let in, but she
And
knew
he's
already.
just into role-playing as a dog in his free time.
We won't judge their sex lives. It's okay.
I want to know more about Bingo. I want to know more lore about him.
You just introduced fantasy races out of nowhere.
Exactly. Where did this
Unaddressed.
come from? Okay. Well, continuing on.
Why would Jack let a stranger enter his home, or are you implying that I let the outlaw in myself? Probably.
I mean,
let us not forget that any man entering the building would have had to pass a caretaker.
Wait a second. A caretaker.
Yes, but that would make sense if he was a delivery driver, because that wouldn't be suspicious. That's my reasoning, I think.
I went for like a very roundabout way last time. Now I think this one is the one where you have to think about it in a roundabout way.
Indeed, it seems unlikely that Nix would have gained entry to the flat through the front door. I think we should examine the window in more detail, Lucy.
Aye, alright, Prof. I'll give it a good going over. Alright, window time.
Window time, window time.
Window time, window time.
Another French window.
We're obviously smashed deliberately, eh?
Can you ascertain from which side the window is broken? Well, from outside, obviously. But then they did say some of the glass looks like it was placed on him.
It can't be inside because there'd be glass outside, so it's impossible to say.
You can't tell.
Because there's no glass outside.
Considerable force must have been used. Throwing pieces in.
On top of the
Oh, not that someone threw them, just that there was so much force that it got onto them. Considerable force, which makes sense.
And this would have been have to happen after the body already died. So
yeah, that is true. So they somehow got in, or were in, stabbed the guy, and then broke the window.
And if the guy came through the window,
then it doesn't make sense that it breaks out into the flat. Because then this would have to have been a breaking out of, but that makes no sense. So, obviously broke in, question mark?
Yeah, broke in. We'll say that. But again, I don't know. We'll say in. If it's not in, then it's impossible to say. Or like, yeah.
If you're broken from the outside, yeah. I mean, it makes sense in that direction, but also that means...
Yeah.
And how do we know this?
Broken in. Because of where the broken glass fell. Most of it's inside the room.
Exactly. This window was clearly smashed with some considerable force from the outside. Now, at last will you believe my statement is true? The outlaw broke into my home and murdered my husband.
Prof, it does see...
I have not finished, young lady. Sit down. There's a vital piece of evidence on the balcony, something left behind by the outlaw. But of course you would have already noticed something that was so obvious now, wouldn't you? Probably because it's placed there.
Yeah.
Well, obviously this has to be the tail, isn't it?
It's the towel. It has to be, right?
Very obviously just right there.
Towel. There's a bloodstained towel on the balcony here, Prof.
Please, do not tell me you failed to notice such an obvious piece of evidence before.
Greenhorn. No, I knew it was there. I was just getting around to it, that's all.
Ma, is that so? It's my. I was like, what's she saying, ma?
My.
It would appear to be telling you to wipe the blood off the murder weapon like a knife.
Like a knife.
But why has it been chucked out there onto the... Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'll never
It
recover.
happens. You
Now,
will
surely
recover.
can help figure out... I just got too excited to go like, oh. Now, surely can help figure that out without my help. Clearly the outlaw threw it away there after he stabbed my husband and fled over the balcony. His voice is...
Clearly? Well, maybe.
There's one thing I'd like to double check. Let's assume that the culprit did indeed break the... Let's assume that the culprit did indeed break the window in order to get inside the flat. Could they be breaking it in sexual style? The loud noise would have alerted everyone to the intrusion. Well, let's assume a white boy. Does that mean I'm automatically coded with the song?
Oh.
You could really just have the audio and put this portrait of Alfendi over and he'd sound correct. The loud noise would have alerted everyone to the intrusion. Does that not strike you as a rather clumsy approach for a seasoned housebreaker?
Yeah.
The window was locked. Why the outlaw had no choice? I mean, yeah, but like, wouldn't you just pick a better time then?
Said it was unlocked.
Yeah, I mean, it was locked? Can you be sure of that? I do declare I can. I distinctly remember it was locked from before. I always check all the doors and windows before I denude my body to take a shower, Inspector. I've never heard the term denude.
Well, I denude my body to take a shower, Inspector.
Very reassuring to know. I'm pleased you could clear that up. Lucy, make a record of it, would you? It's fundamental to the case. I'm delighted that we are finally seeing eye to eye. Keep the locked door in mind, Lucy. I'll make a... Oh.
I'll make a mental note. Prof.
There's one more thing I'd like to try to clear up, if I may. And what might that be? You've already mentioned it in your statement, but you did hear the noise of the window smashing. I most certainly did. Why, I still remember it now. I was in the shower at the time. Then I heard my husband scream. I came running out of the bathroom, and I saw the outlaw. As I said in a statement, he was wearing black from head to toe, and he fled over the balcony. And you stand by your statement? That's exactly what happened? Well, I hope you're not implying that I'm a liar, Inspector Gadget. I merely wanted to confirm the accuracy of your very, very important statement. Thank you very much. Slash S. Slash HJ. French window locked prior to the incident is now open. Window shattering, then I heard my husband scream. Well, I do believe the issues that were troubling you are no more. You've proven that outlaw is guilty.
Oh, I
think it's A. What exactly are you trying to say?
The victim was taken by surprise and stabbed from behind.
But yeah, glass shattering isn't exactly a very subtle way of entering.
Exactly. It's kind of just loud, like.
Yeah.
Stabbed.
I'm so glad we have audio commentary.
Yeah. Gotta have the accurate representation of glass shattering. Smashing your way through a window hardly qualifies for a surprise attack, does it?
My poor, sorry simpleton, you still fail to understand. My husband was sleeping at the time. He did not hear the outlaw breaking the window.
Okay, but why is his body so far from the bed then?
Bro,
Why
how
is it
would you
on the
not?
bed?
Well, yeah, because that would then imply a struggle happened where he tried to get up, and that does not make sense with it being a surprise.
And also he would have had to turn around because his body is facing towards the bed instead of away from the bed.
Yeah, she said that they'd never seen each other before, including her husband, which, I mean, yeah, I guess technically, but that would imply that she was talking in a way that it was implying his husband never even saw the criminal.
That is most sus. Give over, are you really?
Are you doubting me? You have already taken such a long time establishing that the window was smashed from the outside. Now she's just not Southern. I don't know. That in itself is surely compelling evidence that the outlaw broke into my home as I had described. Now she's Southern again. I'm so bad. There could be no more room for doubt. I will kindly respect that you allow me to go back to my home now, Inspector. With the blood. Of course, thank you very much for your cooperation. We shall get our files in order now after all the new information you've given us. So we can arrest you. I believe that would be for the best. Such a simple case as this can surely be laid to rest now.
Oh my gosh,
One last thing. Oh wait, no, I need to do the Columbo voice. Excuse me. One last thing. I can't do Columbo. Never mind. Please do the Columbo thing.
Okay. One last thing.
Yes. If we happen across any other awkward issues, I presume you wouldn't mind helping us again. As long as you're not wasting my time, Inspector, I should be glad to help. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
The fact you're not completely concerned about this.
Much obliged, I'm sure.
I think she's probably just growing numb to having so many of her husbands die at this point. Prof, are you just about to let her go like that?
We weren't going to reach a conclusion like that. She knows that we suspect her.
Sorry, Prof, that's my fault. I got a bit head up. Heated up, I guess.
Don't apologize, we'll get worked up sometimes. Anyway, I'm quite certain now that she's the culprit. It wouldn't be one of my streams if that's some random technical issue that broke everything else. It's some domino effect.
Let's go! Tech issues! Woo! Okay, it works. We're good. We're good.
Well, we've got the metal clock can now as a murder weapon.
Yes.
Most likely. So that's where we're at. And right. Feel closely, notice it's also slightly bent. Like his nose.
Why? There's every chance this is what we're used to do the fellow in.
I agree with that.
Which means the murder weapon were in the room right from the start.
And having committed the crime, the perpetrator hid it on the premises. In other words, the culprit was in the flat before, during, and after the crime. An excellent find, Lucy.
Excellent. I'm that chuffed.
Ask forensics to go over the clock hand again, would you? If it really was the murder weapon, they should be able to find traces of Potsby's blood on it.
Will do. Questioning session over. Update.
Let's get some evidence. We need to locate some irrefutable evidence that shows Potsby man's statement to be false.
Which one? I hear you, Prof. Let's look at her statement.
I'm assuming on her timeline of events.
I heard my husband scream, so I hurried out of the bathroom to see what was wrong.
That there was someone else there. Jack often used to doze off while he was watching television.
He's not on the bed. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
The bed is completely made.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, it is completely. I didn't even think about that. Their Minecraft bed. Sorry, Lucy, I don't think so. What? I mean, it
Come on.
does. I mean,
Come on.
he said he was like in the bed. What didn't he? Okay, whatever. Maybe the corpse isn't on the bed.
About this, Prof?
Oh, okay.
Eh?
We need something different.
The TV? I don't know.
Could be the TV. I mean, what was it about the TV again? I think they said that it's like
The drama playing on it or something.
at the time of the incident, a drama starring popular actor Roscoe Strapping was airing.
This is the evidence.
But what would it tell us?
I have no idea, but
That
I think we should
It
try
would
it.
kind of just like, wouldn't that embolden her thing about him being distracted?
What about this, Prof?
Okay, yeah, I was like, that doesn't really help. This kind of goes with her
Oh,
evidence.
What about from the bathroom?
What would be in the bathroom?
I do not know.
Something that shows that she
I
wasn't.
don't feel like... Yeah. I was taking a shower when I heard a window shattering.
So I hurried out of the bathroom.
To see what
When I
was
came
wrong.
out of the bathroom, I saw an owl running away.
Maybe?
No, I'm just looking at it because I think that might be where the guy was hiding.
Could be.
But I think we're looking for something inconsistent in the bathroom. Maybe the way that everything's like super clean?
There's a scrap of a card on the floor.
It doesn't... Sure, whatever.
Did it fit the bin? No.
Try everything.
What is belying her statement? Check the shower. Because as you said before, it's suspicious that there wasn't... Wait a second. Is there even...
Indications of recent use, but
Gotcha.
forensic investigations revealed no trace of the victim's blood. Yeah.
Okay.
This has turned into click on everything, like a point and click game. Try every option. So, statement about uses muscular, dressed in all black. Heard him scream.
Heard my husband scream.
Oh,
This is the
wait,
evidence.
yeah,
That's
this is
beers
the
on the
evidence,
table.
right, yeah. Because if there's beers on it, that means he probably wasn't sleeping.
What? Okay.
Never
What
mind.
if the towel is being used as, like, in order not to hear husband's screams? There's blood on the towel.
Yeah,
like-
it could have been... It could be. But I
Why
don't
is
know
this
how that's
towel
gonna really
not-
help. Boy, it's gonna be so
No.
obvious probably when it happens. Well, I mean, her statement was that she heard it.
I don't know.
Though blocked prior to the incident is now open.
There was nothing about the window shattering. Was there? Or...
I heard a window shatter, then I heard my husband scream. So I hurried
But
out
this
of the
is-
bathroom.
But there's... Okay, the glass pieces then. Because there's glass on top of the body. That wouldn't have been there. Yeah, right? Hey, that... Yes, we hit
Yeah,
something.
okay.
What about this, Prof? Hey up! What about this, Prof? This could be it.
The broken glass, which statement would that be inconsistent with?
It would be
Um,
statement 1. Because that's the only one that mentions the shatter.
shatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the window shattered before he died.
Yeah,
which would,
exactly.
you
I
know,
noticed that. That's struck me first, like, out of everything.
You're so big brains. Your brain is so
There's
huge.
glass on top of the body.
That's
Why
true.
is there glass on top of the body if the events happened, the window shattered first, then the husband screamed, then he died, then
Yeah,
there's
that
more
wouldn't make
glass
any
on top of the
sense.
body? Who would purposely put glass on top of the body?
You got it.
I've got it!
Yeah, the broken glass is quite clearly inconsistent with that statement.
I've backed Potsby Man into a corner now. This proves she's been lying.
Of course, you appreciate what the consistency is exactly, don't you?
Aye. The bits of broken glass are on top of the body, not underneath it. That's all wrong.
Precisely. This puts paid to the idea that an intruder broke in via the window and killed Potsby. Well spotted, Lucy.
Hee hee.
Questioning over.
That's everything. We've tied up all the loose ends, haven't we?
Yes, in game theory at least.
A game theory.
Crime.
How do you mean?
True crime podcast game theory.
Yes.
We haven't quite got enough to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Potsby Man was responsible.
Why do you say that?
That leaves you two to start true crime podcast.
Honestly, I could see that.
Never mind. Why don't you call all our suspect in and we'll take it from there. This time we'll get her to tell us the truth whether she likes it or not.
I can't wait.
Questioning.
Theoretically. Conclusion.
Oh yeah, he's still here.
Let's go. Oh my! Keep your furry under control.
But I do declare, my furry friend, as you put it, does have a name, Miss Baker. Bingo, but I call him Bang.
Bang it!
Bang it. OMG, you banged it.
Well, I can't say I approve of the collar, but I hope that chain's a good one.
At the risk of repeating myself, Miss Potsby Man, would you mind, Yes, I know. Bing, go wait for me in the car, boy. The trunk's open. What is your relationship? I am sure the good inspector will not be keeping me long.
This guy has to be doing something. Arf! Arf!
Such a little dog voice. Or lion dude. Now, what other affairs we still have to discuss, Inspector? I trust we can do so quickly. I always go to the park with Bing around this time of day. That's the most bizarre part of this case. It's not even related to the murder.
I'm fairly sure this will be the last time we meet. You certain?
So what exactly requires more attention now, I ask? I assume you finally conclude that was that outlaw who murdered my husband. On the contrary, we are now quite certain Mr. Nix is completely innocent in this matter. The guy I completely forgot about by this point.
Yeah, I don't think Nix was ever in danger of being guilty. He was on the bottom floor. How would he have been able to jump out the balcony without, like...
If you'll cast your mind back to our previous conversation, we established that the victim was... stabbed from the back.
From the back. Yeah. Ah! The victim was stabbed from behind without warning. He was caught completely unawares. Aye, Mr. Potsby had no idea that we were coming. There's no way Nix could have done that if he came in the way you described.
As I've already told you more than once, Jack was inclined to fall asleep while watching the television. Of course, we cannot deny the possibility that her husband was asleep at the time. However, if that were truly the case, it would be at odds with something else that happened. In other words, it couldn't have been because... What would the third one have to do with anything? He'd not met them before? He couldn't have been dozing off because, well, he was stabbed in the back. Unless he literally was... Because to watch television, he'd have to be looking at it. He couldn't have his face down in the pillows.
Yeah.
My, what fanciful ideas you have in that pretty little head of yours.
Idiot.
Oh, Lucy, remember what we talked about?
Oops. Sorry, Prof.
It's the first time we got that wrong. Well, I
window
mean,
smash?
it has to be
Like,
this one because the third one doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, I'm stupid. Of course it's this one because the sound would have woke him up.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been dozing off when he was attacked because it was smashed
stop.
before he was attacked.
Exactly.
Right.
Ooh. Ah! The heart crumbles. Because the window were smashed. All that glass breaking would have made a right dent and no mistake. No one could have slept through that. There's no way Mr. Pottsby wouldn't have woken up.
I do declare you are as slow as a snail sometimes, Miss Baker. My husband was quite exhausted that day while he was sleeping like a log. Even the clatter of the window breaking would surely not have roused him. He was like 5 feet away from the window.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about. Your apartment's not very big.
Well, there's not more to be said on that front then, I suppose.
Only when the outlaw drove his knife into my poor husband's back did he make such a... Did he wake with a spine-chilling scream. And it was on hearing that scream that you ran out of the bathroom to see what was happening? That is correct. My sudden arrival scared the outlaw away before he could steal even a bitty bit. I knew it was that thief they caught in the grounds. I see. So that's the course of events as you describe it. I've never said anything to the contrary. So if I may just recap. You were having a shower in the bathroom when you heard the sound of glass shattering, and immediately after that you heard Mr. Pottsby scream. That's what you're telling us happened, are you? Also what you said in your statement. Of course it is, because it's the truth, Inspector. Then I would have to say you are a liar, Miss Pottsby, man. Well, a liar? Indeed, and there's a certain piece of evidence on the scene that will prove me right. Well, I am all ears. If this evidence really exists, then I sure would like to see it. Foo. Glass.
Broken glass. Ah!
Fighting game.
These bits of broken glass prove that you're lying to us, Miss Pottsby, man.
That is hogwash. All these little bitty bits of glass prove nothing of the sort. Would you care to explain, Lucy? Tell Miss Pottsman exactly what the broken glass reveals.
The timing of the stabbing.
Timing. Victim's last words. They spelt out the name of the crime doer in
You
the
only have
lines.
to look at the broken glass to see the order of events that led to Mr. Pottsby's death.
What order of events?
You claim you heard the window smash first and then your husband scream.
What if that were the... Oh,
If that were the case, what are all these bits of glass doing on top of the body, eh?
if your statement were true, the broken glass should be underneath the corpse.
But they aren't, are they, Miss Pottsbyman? They're on top. Which proves that the window were smashed after the victim were stabbed.
So it would seem you have deliberately given a false statement. I have done no such thing. Why? I have simply confuse matters in my head. I'm all torn up about the loss of my dear husband. This simple misunderstanding proves nothing.
Well, you have the glaring eyes right there. I forget.
I retract I forgot.
She forgot.
I retract my statement. I simply cannot remember if I heard the scream or the glass breaking first. Perhaps the outlaw inside came inside some other way and only smashed the window after killing my Jack.
But you just said the door was locked. Oh, you little weasel!
Let's assume for a moment that you were indeed mistaken. That introduces a new complication. It does? Indeed, because we know that the door and the window were both locked before the incident occurred. If the culprit didn't break the window, how did he or she get into the flat? Why, I have no idea. What are you trying to say, Inspector? What I'm trying to say is simple. We can now be sure that the true perpetrator of this crime is...
It's gotta be Bing, right?
I swear, I was checking to see this, but Bing at the end for some reason.
That would be so funny. It has to be down. I guess we'll have to say Downs then.
It was Buster Dix.
We just proved him innocent.
Yeah.
Ah. It were you, Miss Goldby Pottsman?
At the time of the attack, the window and door of the flat were locked.
The only other way in were by smashing the window, but we know that happened after the victim died.
With no method of entry available, the only conclusion is that the culprit did not come in from the outside. No, the person who did this was in the flat from the outset. And the only person who fits that bill, Miss Pottsman, is you. He's doing his pose.
Where he actually shows his other eye.
Yeah. Am I to understand that you were accusing me of murder because I was in my home the whole time?
Aye, you are to understand that.
Well, then I must remind you of something of vital importance that you appear to have overlooked.
Huh? Oh, what's that?
Oh, just a little bitty thing called a murder weapon. I hear it told that you've still not found it anywhere inside the apartment, which I never left. I am to be accused of this crime. I would just love to know where I'm supposed to have put it. Indeed, I confess to having been stumped by that conundrum. Well, there you have it. You have not a shred of evidence that I killed my own husband. However, we did eventually manage to locate the murder weapon. Huh? I beg your pardon?
Hee hee. Aye, that's right. We know exactly what you used to skewer your man.
I do declare, why that's simply not possible. You didn't dispose of the murder weapon outside of the flat. It's been there the entire time. You're starting to rile me, Inspector. Tell me where this murder weapon is. I mean, I'm supposed to have used is.
It's the fridge.
Through the whole fridge of him.
No. It's the, it's in the, not there. There we go.
He's
Oh, that heart's cracking.
wearing her down.
The murder weapon were hidden in the clock.
What? Are you quite sure? Funny idea. Funny.
Sure as eggs are eggs, aye. It were the minute hand of the clock that were used to kill Mr. Pottsby.
Oh, why, that is hogwash. A man could never be killed with such a thing. Well, the shape of the hand matches the victim's wound perfectly.
Aye, you haven't got long to wriggle your way out of this one. Forensics are going over it with a fine-tooth comb as we speak.
Oh my god, this is so anime. Speak of the devil. Just...
Hello?
The shape of it? Well, it is almost... You admit it now? I don't think so. Do you, Inspector? What's that mean? That he did it?
Prof! Prof!
What's the matter?
The results from forensics. They found naught on it. No traces of blood whatsoever.
Really? My, what a terrible shame. Your trump card turned out to be a joker in the end, I do declare. I hate it when that happens. Waste of space, waste of time. No, I must have missed something.
Prof?
Can I assume we are finally on the same page now, Inspector? That outlaw Nix is responsible for my husband's death, and I am no longer under suspicion. If you just fill out these forms for me with words to that effect.
Forms?
Well, my husband's life insurance will not pay out without the proper paperwork, Miss Baker.
Ooh. Have you got no shame at all? We're talking about a man's life.
What? You have no idea what you're talking about, Missy. Jack doted on me. He would turn his grays if he thought his little pot of gold would not be mine after his death.
How do you have the gall to say something like that?
Killing for cash.
Ugh.
It's just like he just does that and goes back.
Suddenly, hair just falls over his head.
Not a bad idea. Bro, what happened?
Eh? Prof? Are you alright?
But your motives are far, far darker than that, aren't they, Golder? Don't get uppity with me now, Inspector. What's going on now? Oh,
This
but
game
you
is
enjoy
weird.
it, don't you? You kill for money, but it's not the cash you're after. It's the kick, isn't it? I'm gonna psychoanalyze you,
What
now.
about, Prof? What's gotten into you?
I can just imagine it. That little smile creeping on your face as you prepared the murder weapon. I will not fall into your petty trap, Inspector. Need I remind you that you still have not even found this murder weapon of which you seek? And we never will. Because it no longer exists. Inspector, I do declare you have lost your mind. Are you suggesting the murder weapon just vanished into thin air? You'd be delighted if that's what we concluded, wouldn't you? But let me put it another way. The weapon that was used to stab Jack Potsby didn't exactly vanish. It melted. Oh my god, is it gonna be the pot? I've been talking about the pot the entire time. Is it literally gonna be the pasta?
Yeah, what? In a furnace or something?
Oh my god, this music?
Yeah? Oh, hang on. I think I get it now. I know what happened. The cooking pot.
It has to have been the cooking pot.
There's obviously the bathtub, duh. The murder weapon must have been melted in this pot.
Oh yes, the weapon that killed Potsby disappeared in this very spot. Suspicious utensil.
You were right about the ladle.
I've been talking about the ladle. It's always been about the ladle. I have no idea what you were talking about. I assure you, I was simply making my husband and I some pasta. Dente. Gross. It did turn into Danganronpa. Also, hi, Joel. What is that
Hey, it's
emote? I did not see that for
Welcome.
a second. Don't mock me. Where's the cutlery? Where's the bowls? The pasta sauce? I didn't actually even think about that. But yeah, there's literally nothing on the table. There's no sign of any presentation of a meal at all, just the pasta in this pot of boiling water. Dude's pissed about his Olive Garden's opinions. Your
Yes.
pasta sucks. I had intended to prepare those things later, but
Don't think so. I don't think that pasta were ever meant for eating at all.
It was for killing. No, the pasta was prepared for the sole purpose of the disappearing act. Why'd he get all like Tumblr sexy man on this case?
Yes.
Tell me by now you figured out what the murder weapon was, Lucy.
Oh, aye, I'm with you now, Prof. The murder weapon was...
This is the only one that can make sense here, unless the pot was so hot it melted. Well, I mean, it can't be the clock cans. We have clock cans.
Yeah.
And melting glass would need to be way hotter than a...
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't exactly a slot missing with the knife set.
Yeah, it's true.
Because there's a fridge, too. 100%! The weapon used to stab Jack Potsby to death were a knife made of ice. It would have melted to naught in no time at all in a pot of boiling water like that one with the pasta in.
Not use placeholder text. Why, anyone with an ounce of horse sense could see this as a fiction you've concocted. Even if you say there was a knife made of ice, like you say, it's gone now, has it not? My hands are clean and you can never provide such a weapon in my possession.
Well, we got crazy, Professor, so this will fix.
His mind's going...
Well, no, perhaps not, but, Prof?
Yes, we can. Oh my god. He's, what's the term? He's angsting out.
Are you back to normal now, Prof?
Sorry, Lucy. Yes, I'm fine now. Thank you. What are you two whispering about over there? We're discussing the ice knife. You are, of course, correct that the knife itself is no more. However, in order to make the knife in the first place, there was a mold. And that mold is still on the scene. I surely would like to see it. Lucy, do you know what was used?
It would have had to have...
It sure looks like the scrap of card. It's thick creased.
Yeah?
And it's damp.
It is
They did say it was damp. I thought it came as because she was like wet when leaving, so it got onto it, but...
Yeah?
That makes sense that it could have been this.
Yes. Scrap of card.
That was...
Correct. Kill that heart. Undertale reference.
OMG? Dude, I can't believe it. Toby Fox made this game?
Yes. I mean, it all makes sense. The crazy freakout by the professor.
Oh, he's wearing a striped sweater too, dude. It's car. It all makes sense
Guys,
now.
new game theory. Aldinary is Sans.
Aldinary? You mean Alfendi?
Alfendi. Whatever his name is. Al Dente.
Al dente Layton.
I'm just gonna call him Al Dente now.
Literally.
Literally. Like the pasta. It were this damn piece of card that we used to mold to shape the knife. Boop. Aye, if you fold it back up along the creases, let's see what you get. Oh, look! A perfect knife shape!
Yes, you lined the mold with cling film or the like, then filled it and put it in the freezer to make your knife. We'll be able to match the shape of the mold to that of the victim's wound to be certain, of course. But why? It's nothing more than a coincidence. Anyone can see that. We have more evidence against you. After you stabbed your husband, use a towel to wipe the blood off the knife.
The towel we found on the balcony.
Yeah, so once you were satisfied, you'd remove all the blood. You put the icy weapon in the boiling water. But are you absolutely sure you removed every last trace?
No way.
I'm sure I do not follow. In my experience, no one ever manages to remove all the traces of blood from a weapon. If you indeed dissolve the knife that killed your husband in boiling water, we will be able to positively identify the victim's blood when we examine the pot. Why, you little... Lucy, have forensics gone over the pot for... have forensics go over the pot for us, will you?
Straight away, Prof. I spoke with forensics. They're already on the case.
Now we merely need to wait for the result. Are you ready to admit to your crime now, Miss Pospeyman? I have no intention of admitting to anything, Inspector Gadget. Anyways, even if we can prove that my husband was killed with a knife made of ice, it does not mean that I did it.
I have not stabbed, I have not killed, I have not melted. Oh, no, when you've had it last.
I have had nothing, Miss Baker, other than my innocence questioned most unjustly. Unfortunately for you, there's no logical way in which you aren't guilty. If you'll cast your mind back, we showed there's no way into the flat when the incident took place. The door and windows were locked. In other words, only somebody who was already inside could have stabbed Mr. Potsby. Again, very intense for the Layton art style.
Yes. Especially with crazy al dente.
Crazy al dente.
Yes.
Dude, freaky pasta? Oh, please.
Yes, freaky pasta.
You admitted yourself that you did not leave the flat. In your own words, the apartment which I never left. I should have done a fake southern accent there. No, I... Or is that another statement you would now like to retract? I must warn you that doing so is only likely to make things worse for you in the end, though. I demand to see my attorney. You cannot continue to question me in this way. Certainly. Lucy, make the necessary arrangements, please.
Will do, Prof.
And then they send her to Edgeworth, and that's how these things happen.
Yes.
Why, to be accused because of such a petty little thing.
I wanted more lore about Bingo, though. Why
yeah,
did we not get more
we're just
about
gonna
Bingo?
ignore.
Bingo is... We're just gonna ignore the fact that she has an entire man dog lion thing.
My entire water bottle.
She put up quite a fight, eh?
Yes, she did. What was with the lion guy?
I were in a right tiz when the lab said they'd not found naught on that clock hand, I tell you.
Don't worry, Lucy. This much less like what's it?
Yeah.
I want to say Steven Spielberg, but that's not at all what I'm thinking of. The guy from Disaster Artist.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. It's like, haha. Mark, you're so funny. Martin Scorsese? No, that's not it. What's his name? Mike Lebowski?
George Lucas?
No, it's not, I don't know. I only Mike thing of George. What is the guy who made The Room?
Oh, Tommy Wiseau.
Oh yeah, that's him, Tommy Wiseau.
I did not kill her, Mark. I did not kill her.
Don't worry, Lucy.
Did not kill him.
You weren't alone. I just imagine he laughs like Tommy Wiseau.
Ha 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 ha.
It's a bit of a gamble as to whether they'll find any traces of blood in the pot of pasta as well.
You're joking, aren't you?
Pretty sure if she's going to confess now, though.
Pretty sure, eh?
Teleports behind you. I completely forgot about her. What voice was I doing? Alfendi.
I mean, probably a
She's too. Admitted everything.
How are you still alive? Eeh, what a relief.
It seems she was after the man's life insurance.
She just dates men for their life
She
insurance.
told us as much when we were questioning her. Would you believe? Oh, well, did you know this? We found out that Potsby won a very large sum of money last year. That's when this man came into his life. Hardly what you might call a coincidence.
It's always the money. She were a real gold digger, eh?
Well, it seems seems Potsby was spending money like water. She was terrified he'd rack up as much debt as the life insurance payout, so she had to murder him quickly. I guess spending that much money would explain all the takeout.
It's just like the previous woman, except like she died. That's the difference. Because there was a subtle reference that Zach made to her spending a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see. So it's not something of a rush job. She no doubt prepared better for her other spouses.
So it's all done and dusted then? Fabulous!
I must say, Al, you don't look very well. Are you alright? Did you turn into some guy that certain websites would really enjoy looking at?
Probably that Jekyll and Hyde moment you'd taken out of you, eh, Prof?
That's a bit of an exaggerated way of describing it, Lucy. But I do feel a little under the weather. I think I'll go home early if no one objects.
I mean, you just solved the case, so like, yeah. Are you sure you'll be alright?
It's nothing a bit of sleep won't cure, I'm sure. Can you close up the office when you leave?
Consider it done. I hope he's alright.
So it happened again, did it?
Hey, do you know then, Florence? About the Prof?
Does Florence not have eyebrows? Really, like, making me think of the rain or something.
So.
So your hair is like that.
Florence just is. Whatever's it all about, eh?
Calm down, Lucy. I really don't know all that much about it. But you're safe as long as there's a criminal present. What does that mean? You're safe as long as there's a criminal present. If the criminal wasn't there, would he have, like, attacked someone? What? Are you...
See, or
You
don't hear that said every day.
No, question what that means. What does that even mean? What I mean is, the other Al is only interested in criminals. You won't come to any harm.
So he's got some kind of vendetta against all criminals or somewhat?
Isn't that his job?
Yeah, but like he's really aggressive about it?
Actually, from what I've seen, I'd say it's quite the opposite. He can't help but liking them, all the more so the more atrocious they are. Oh, so he's the one who falls for tumbling sexy men.
Ah, yes. I don't like the sound of that.
He turns into a true crime fan. There's really no cause for alarm. Like I said, as long as there's a criminal present to simp over, you're perfectly safe.
What happens if he shows up when it's just the two of us, though?
If it were me, I'd rip out my drip and run like the wind. I had some trouble reading that because I kind of forgot she had the IV drip, and I was like, what do you mean drip? Like,
yeah, the drip.
I thought she was talking about like your clothes.
Florence has drip!
I had to rip off my drip.
I think I'll come in my plimsolls tomorrow.
Yeah, what that is, that's sneakers, but British talk.
Ah, I get it.
Also called runners, I think.
Ah. Gotcha. Alright.
Oof.
Alright. Is that a good stopping place?
Yeah, that seems like a good stopping spot.
Yeah. I don't know how long the other cases are gonna take.
I don't know, but this only took us about maybe around
overall,
an hour and a half for each.
Yeah, but of course, these cases are starting to increase in difficulty, so...
Well, it's a good thing we're geniuses.
They go up to 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. File number 003 and above can be purchased at title screen. Well, Now that was rightfully exciting.
Yeah, we have a whole other mystery on top of the other mysteries of Fendi simping for actual criminals.
And what about bingo?
That too. I wonder if that's gonna
Come
come up.
on!
Like, what do
I
you
want to
mean?
know more about bingo.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
intrigued by that mystery.
yeah. Just a little bit sus.
A bit sussy, if you would.
A bit saucy-washy, if you may say. Alright.
Bruh. Yeah, it's gonna need
I
to...
don't know how you do your, like, ending goodbye things.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to meet. You should just click the button.
You just click the button. You just, like, without saying goodbye to
No,
all
I
the
do. I say
lovely,
goodbye.
3 people. Okay.
I actually have no idea who's even... I can't see that.
Whoever's here.
Goodbye.
Anyone who's here.
Thanks for sticking
Yes.
around if you're here.
Thank you for being here.
This was
I'm
fun.
Ember the Raccoon. That's Bento Box.
That is.
And we wish you a very
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas, Happy New Year, and great
Valentine's Day.
2024. Bye, Mixo. And
Goodbye,
Joel.
Mixo. And what is that emote?
Who's
Anyways.
ever? That's like the wave emote. That's like the high emote.
It's like,
I think that's the default Twitch one.
I honestly don't see the Twitch ones much.
Yeah. I tend to use just like some channel specific ones. But anyways, I will see you, and we will see you
Wait a sec.
in the future.
But
Oh,
that's just a theory. A game theory.
A game theory.
Thanks for
Thanks
watching.
for watching.